me did Akosia Dankwa. Be flagogo ha, agogo asante achimagogo. Na me ye fu, me ye body fu. Madaroma, me wo fu pa. Ya, me munsu me yale ni me na ba akonye. Enso, esan se minti na fa kon me obi oba me de ani adi nti. Me de ma ho ode kakra na me won ye fu. And this time no 2016 na ba besia na ma ye fu be 350 and am san do foforo e ka ho foforo me do na ye 150 150 me o hwa na ye be ka che me say oba bi bam ho na mi so oba be o mo say ayi and this ni bi free dwa so ye Sofia for penny ye was here o say o metwa mafu mu na me obi 19 and mo betwa mafu agofa and me ni play papa nya sam keto na me kanesa ni pe ma akoma kwadie nu aduasa nson na be gina fon teta mu twae na ne yawada no ma sa betwa papa ene me dia mi aho papa.
The story of Akosua Dankwa defines the state of Ghana's agricultural sector before the end of 2016. Under the previous government, Ghana's agriculture was in a state of decline. Prior to 2017, the performance of the sector had been erratic, recording a growth rate of 0.8% in 2011, one of the lowest in modern times. A 2.9% growth in 2016 told no better story.
We met a sector which was underperforming, with one of the lowest agricultural productivity in not only West Africa or Africa, but the whole world. We have yields which were very, very low, and we are talking about across board. We're talking about food crops, we're talking about our famous cocoa, we're talking about tree crops. The yields were very low.
Farmers like Akosua Dankwa had their livelihoods taken away and neglected. The Agric Ministry itself was abandoned.
You look at the budget, the percentage of the budget which went to agriculture also was going down to the extent that by the time they left office, it was less than 1% of total budgetary allocation was into this ministry. It really showed you that although the rhetorical was very, very loud, oh, farmers are important to us, but in reality, nothing was happening in the sector.
His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana.
Having effectively diagnosed the problems of the sector, President Akufo-Addo took the decision to do everything possible to put agriculture back on the path of transformation and work towards harnessing effectively its potential.
To you, the students, make full use of your time here so that you can have a productive future. And the investment that is being made to you here to prepare you to play a leading role in the development of Ghana's agriculture. Seize it with both hands. There's a large future out here, and you can play a very important role in that future.
The launch of the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative in April 2017 strongly signaled government's determination to reverse the flagging fortunes of the sector. Under the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative, several other programs have been realized to transform Ghana's agriculture. Within this first term, the Planting for Food and Jobs program resulted in a sectorial growth rate from a low 2.9% in 2016 to 6.1% in 2017, the first year of its implementation. By the end of 2019, it had grown to 6.9%. On the ground, government initially supplied 216 pickup vehicles to extension officers and district directors of agriculture. 2,700 Agric Extension officers were immediately recruited, with some 8,000 graduates for the Feed Ghana module of the NAPCO program. These extension officers, moving from community to community, have been charged with educating farmers on improved methods of farming.
Before then, we were having only 5 AEs, 5 field officers, which 2 of them have even retired. But for last 2 years, 2018, we had up to 70 AEs. That was addition of 5 AEs. So now we have a lot of field officers to reach every farmer within the district.
provision of improved seeds and subsidized fertilizers has largely accounted for high farm yields and impressive growth of the agricultural sector over the past 3 years.
Nana do be di ade na forest fu adam ma bua me ma me fertilizer ye mafu a papa kenne me double so na be na me bi ni 9 edi nana do waba ye dana se.
Well, of course, you can be whatever you set your mind to.
But my friend laughs when I tell them I want to be the president.
Come, let me tell you a true story you can tell your friends when they laugh at you. Once upon a time, there was a small boy who watched his father and uncles start the struggles that eventually led to Ghana's independence. And you know what the boy learned from the struggles?
No.
Perseverance. Perseverance. It means never giving up until you have achieved what you set out to do. So when the boy grew up, he became the Secretary General of the People's Movement for Freedom and Justice. And you know what he did? Because he believed in Ghana and democracy, he persevered until his movement brought down the military government in 1978. Really? When he saw that there was no justice for Ghanaians, he led the Kumipreko demonstrations for human rights. He persevered and mobilized Ghanaians for multi-party democracy, which was achieved in 1992.
Wow.
And then, in 2008, he stood for Ghana's presidency, promising free SHS and industrial transformation.
Did he win? Did they have the free SHS?
No, he lost this election, but he won people's hearts.
Did he persevere?
Yes, but that is one quality people admire in him. So, he stood for the elections again in 2012, and again he promised free SHS and industrialization.
And this time he won.
No, they lied about him. They said he would burn down the country that he's fought all his life for.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
You are right. He lost a disputed election and took it to court. When he lost in court, he accepted it in peace. He may have lost the election, but he won more hearts.
I hope he president.
Of course he did. He ran again in 2016, and this time he won! And Akufo-Addo became the president of Ghana.
Yay!
And do you know why he became president?
Because he
Persevered!
Grandpa, one day I'll be a president.
Everything is possible.
Hi, my name is Salamatu. Yes, these are both me. You see, before free SHS, my life could have taken two very different paths. The SHS path depended on how much money my parents had, what sacrifices they were willing to make, and whether they would send me or my little brother Issa to SHS. The other part is what would have become of me if there was no free SHS. But today, thanks to free SHS, my future is bright and promising.
Congratulations, you have a name.
He's a boy.
Instead of depending on others, I will stand on my own feet and help my family. Free SHS is where my dreams for a better future and the dreams of thousands of young girls become a reality. Don't let NDC take it away from us. Vote for NPP and give all Ghanaian girls a chance for a better future.
In Edra Framso in the Central District of the Ashanti region, this 400-acre corn farm is being harvested mechanically. Thanks to the provision of the improved hybrid seeds provided under the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
I started this farm about 15 years ago, but in fact, this is the first time that I'm having this bumper harvest because of the help of the government, PF&J. And the corn you see over here is a hybrid, special maize, and this was provided by MOFA, and they've given me a lot of assistance. This president has contributed a lot. I started this farm 15 years ago. I didn't get this help.
In 2020 alone, this farm is producing over 35,000 bags of maize per season, feeding Ghana, supporting poultry, and creating jobs for the youth.
The Nairi, who is the overlord of the Maprosi, when I visited his palace the last time I was in the north, he said to me, this is the first time that he's seen new maize meeting old maize. In other words, traditionally there's a gap of no stocks in the household for maybe 2-3 months before the new harvest.
It has been given a new face, and I hope the next 4 years will be to be something phenomenal.
Through his regular working visits across the country throughout his first term in office, the president has personally been on the ground to inspect works done on these farms. His regular engagement with farmers and stakeholders has added value to Ghana's agriculture. Government introduced greenhouse villages to offer opportunity for the youth to be trained in intensive vegetable cultivation using modern technology. 3 greenhouse villages have been established at Dowenya, Akumadan and Bodrase. Sefi in the Western North region is one of Ghana's cocoa growing hub. In the town of Esam and in Suakrom, cocoa farming is what has kept these communities going over the years.
Kaneno na Suakrom na ya cocoa papa.
Cocoa sisambro na bechi ye cocoa no ama ye cocoa ne yale asimu. Nti first ne yate atimiya 20 bars. Ewie yate 10 bars. Yenya bi.
During the Mahama-led government, cocoa production began to decline from the height of 1 million metric tons. It was by far the biggest drop in cocoa production on record within the past 2 decades. In their scramble for a solution, the NDC government chose to distribute free fertilizers. However, the records showed that despite such policy, cocoa production was in a yearly decline under his administration. Instead, a thriving fertilizer smuggling enterprise was created. Hundreds of thousands of bags of fertilizers were smuggled to neighboring countries where they could sell on the market for profit.
How the Ebre Bipa so grow down now be any pe woman na yen the packetwa. How be this cocoa we are bebre kwa ekrom.
For instance, in Ghana, our yield for cocoa was only 450 kilograms per hectare. In Cote d'Ivoire next door, they were doing 1.1 metric tons per hectare, which is more than twice what the Ghanaian farmer was doing.
Today, the implementation of various programs such as replanting, mass spraying, fertilizer application, hand pollination, mass pruning, and cocoa farm irrigation are all intended to transform Ghana's cocoa sector.
Cocoa no enu achi anso ha ombe line and peg maye omu wie no nsoso no omo san edua bode fefe kama e de maye
anado na ban e baye cocoa awu aye twa yenya ho aduma mfaso bebre
afini duru ye no mbe dua cocoa no omo che ye cocoa ma free nezre no emi be dua ye se ye cocoa na ye kama.
The Akufo-Addo government maintained the producer prices in the preceding years despite a 40% decline in the international prices of cocoa which occurred during those periods. The current producer price of cocoa, which is 515 Ghana cedis per bag, is the highest amount ever paid to cocoa farmers.
Government, no you are kewa wo. Yana ni kemo you ama abo e Jamestown. Ama sla market. Bia ne hu wo bi ya school free. Ni ni kemo you na e babo den jolly ake chi chuchu ko ka wan yawo. Bo ne to wo ya premise fu e. Ni bia na e premise fu le gbegbe. No ma shishi. No ma shishi.
Years for Nana. 2020.
Since 2017, a new dawn is breaking in Ghana. The NPP is building the foundations for growth and transformation. We are curbing unemployment with new and decent jobs.
Thanks to Nana, I've got a new job through NAPCO. That is why I'm voting for him as the MPP.
The promise of free SHS is now a reality.
Through education, I have a brighter future. That's why I'm voting for Nana and the MPP.
The future of our country is in the hands of a competent leader, a man you can trust.
I trust Nana.
This December, let's protect our progress. Let's give Nana 4 more to do more for you.
2020, 4 more for Nana. 2020, 2020, yes, for Nana.
Many farming communities across the country may boast of the overwhelming success of the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative, but the people of Agogo and the Ashanti Achem district of the Ashanti region are even singing a louder song. This plantain market in Agogo is overwhelmed with harvested produce. For the first time, traders here export plantain to Ghana's neighboring countries, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Niger.
People are coming all the way from Kano to come and take our maize, and farmers are taking initiatives from Agogo, plantain farmers setting up shop in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. I mean, it's amazing how things have changed overnight.
Guys, this year, more than a Chevron and the bag of to be about watching when you are dinner.
Me pa try a friend and I associate Tewia. May I queer for him our Santi Achimago. But the any perfect free baby, and crown for Eba, and cry Jabiara, Ayagoshi, Malata, Medina, Tema. Baby Bia Eba Eba top body.
At the end of the year 2018, we had 133,000 farmers over participating in Planting for Food and Jobs. 2019, our target was 160,000 farmers. But at the end of the year, we had 257,000 farmers plus. So you could see it's more than triple jump. So we realized that in the region from 2017 up to 2019, there has been exponential growth as far as planting for food and job is concerned.
Papa na do digu kwa mma kuafu. Aboa ma ne mema wo yekure yimu. Titru ya ma yekura de. Na nado ade a waya ma ye ntumi nka. Se yesra ne se ontena ye nchan kakra. Mane nko. Ye ginu se abanya bako, abanya bako, abanya bako. Ma yekua adwuma buru 20 years. Ma ya buru na me maami yekua ni o. E no wo metetu kua mu. Abanya ba na ban we die wa hwene kuafo ho nti akuafo ye si ye manamo ni yo ye de na ye yeku ye de na ye papa ye de na ye dofo so bi ka se odo wa wi ase twa bibia na nado ye ye dofo ye do no papa ye de ye bibia e wo wi ase.
When hard-working Ghanaians deposit their life savings in the bank, they trust the bank to keep it safe for them and their children. And they trust the government to supervise the banks and protect Ghanaians from fraud and thieves. During John Mahama's term, he and the NDC government failed to protect Ghanaians. Many lost their life savings, and some of those closest to John Mahama were the prime beneficiaries.
Don't worry, brother. Keep them under control and I'll keep getting the money.
Today, the NPP is paying back all the depositors who lost their money and cleaning up the mess NDC left behind them. If you can't trust them with your money, how can you trust them at all? This December, vote NPP to make sure that your hard-earned money is protected.
Oh, church now no. Ya minim say ACNT and now osi AC free for. There be way ACNT.
Munti. We dey atadwe somati do yesi musika na ye chiachia dey amanipa bebre no aka nipa kuma bi.
Me ne wo eka say first batch of lift ayin sika yene sika ko DKM no abeduru say pam.
Eyi asese aban ya hyase e wo tue ni mu ne na John Mahama so wo ba betue.
Hey, DKM ne God is love. I go 2015. And another cast will be to your mono. So what? Well, Tiao, Menya receive more pay mu. Munya but trema pay. And your castle bay and no one noye. Minya won't pay way. Now pay DA. And another show boy. Oh.
Within the rocks and aka, if we say we are quite crude women. Afu a menamu ye afu a eye me papa afu a abra na me yakola no mita ebeja no afu mu ha sei saable no na ye omanpanyin kofo able so na koko nazre ene spray ana omodi mayen free na me ma me nso ne nkola a owo mu akire nyina so na nyina nso eye free se ye nso ye yare a na health insurance nso no na ye ko hospital nso free ndi na ablabo no na emu ye mayen pa. And since I am and this year by na yari wo koko mo e friend se sambro no ye gya etwa nti se sickness na no mo de man ya yari enu ana na ye dua nti ne ya adwuma hu ablabo no mu be ye den enam so ma me papa kura efiri mu sabra nso na ye bra na ma wie JHS a o se me ko secondary school nanso enam ahokyere nti no mantumi antoa so ahokyere no ma me ye ma adwen se me konkran na makwa kodi pa every 2017 a omampanyin akofo ado baaye no wode nsakara foforo abaku adwuma mu omo ana obetwa ye koko no maye na omaye bode a ye dua na ono angasa ye la ne mpege na omo angasa nso abedua koko no na omo angasa nso adomu a emfie mienu nso bode na omo adua no enyina ye kuafo na ye koko twa ye bode ye twa ye koko no a eka mienu ne fam bia no ewo mpatasika nso a
ɔde ɛma yɛn nti sɛsɛ deɛ ɛde ani gye soronko bi abɛhyɛ me mu a kokoo adwuma no ɛno ana sɛsɛ deɛ meyɛ mentu kwan ɛnam Nana Akufo-Addo ne nhyehyɛ pa a wɔde ama kokoo akuafoɔ nti no yɛbɛto aba abɔ yɛn mpuntuo ho ban na ma ne mfie nnan ɛde aka ho ama na yɛ bebree ama kokoo akuafoɔ.
The story of Rahinatu Karim, a young rice farmer in Tepa in the Ahafo-Ano North District, is further testimony to the new breath of air in Ghana's agricultural sector, where the youth are developing interest.
Na minimi kunu mum na eye. Na ne yanim adwuma nani so. Ti ye ba na ye topeti ne yanim bonso ene ade. Na me didi mama me kunu on de oyese on de ontimi nye. Ti me so na me tomo eton me twa ne konkokoko ti me hwe na e wo se me beye adwuma na kakra fi se me so me nya ma asase ne na ho ti me bae na rekefo ne bae na ombe kire se o se se kura nkrofo bi bombe boy planting for food and jobs ti ye yire ho nya adwuma e ma me nya akokuduro se meye ti me gusu a me na kra mo bae se bonso ni twa na ye tim ne basa na se ye topeti ombe kire ye lines no wa hwe ase hu se ma tim ne line ombe kire se de be ye lines no ye be gu ye mo kwan ye be fa so ye be gu no mo ye ngu no soro na bi ensu antokwa na akotu krompa ayede ye gu no wonsuom na wutu a hwa na wosan wo horo no ansa na wapeja akwa akoti.
Inspired by the Planting for Food and Jobs initiative and with support from Agric Extension officers providing improved seeds, Rahina today harvests 17 bags of rice per acre on her 2.5-acre farm.
The Planting for Food and Jobs no ba ya me year first year no me nya 17 bags for 1 acre. E ma mani je na kwache me kunisi afi de manyam wo no onjimini. Tina me ma na be bobo ya fo be farm no e de ko ma wonu ahu se manya bi. Nti 2017 no e ma me girem ho eye nti me bua scanner no na me dwene me hu de me dis scanner manya kakra no me de be ye na me yese sare me beto abobo ya ma me kun nti 2018 April na me to abobo ya ba ko de ma me kun nti October 2018 na me sa to abobo ya ba ko ma na chiri ba otoso bi nti 2019 na me to plot na me twa me blocks wa guso ti amamanya chese we sa afa kwa me afa na ba no aduane kwa nka me kofi me ba kwa me pese me kofi ntem. Sese maami dobi, mpapa dobi, machiri ba miensa dobi, enan na mata abobo ya ma no so onu so kura do mu no bi. Tina na waboa ye pa, waboa ye. E wose ye to aba ma no. Wo de Planting for Food and Jobs ba ya, metimi eye ejapade ato be wo ma miensa, me ye ejapade ama me ma no. Minimi so obi so e di bi so eye ade foforo so a e chensa. Me jinidi. Nana be ye.
President Akufo-Addo's strategy of linking agriculture to industry under the One District, One Factory program and others are being aggressively pursued. The bumper harvest during his first term in office is testimony to how leadership of service can transform Ghana's agricultural sector. For now, the inspiring story of Rahina and many other farmers is giving hope for a brighter future.